Hello, I'm VM, and today we will be doing the timelines of plugs, switches and sockets, and other different types of plugs and sockets. Alright, let's start off with the plugs, the power outlets. This one is probably manufactured by PDL from the 1950s to the 70s. Got the back here, positive, or phase, neutral, and earth over here. It's got the little like switch holder here, metal. You got the earth pin. Here are the contacts for the earth pin. Very good contact. Neutral. Yep. You got your phase, which the screw is out up here, but never mind. So yeah, that's the neutral and that's the phase. So your phase is here. So you got all the pins are good. This is from the 50s. This, I'm not sure if this has been used. Probably, yeah, I think it has because it's out of its cover. So 240 volt, 10 amp over here, 10 amp 240. You've got your plug holder and the other holders up there, and then you've got the mounting points here and on and off there. So yeah, these are pretty good plugs. They last quite long. So this is from the 50s probably to the 60s or 70s. Now here you got this one. This is from the 60s, manufactured to the 80s. These ones, these are slightly newer, as you can see. Bit of a difference, so a little holder there, but you don't have the two bits up here, and you've got a bit of different design and no switch holders. As you can see, this has been used in many places: phase, neutral, and earth. Here, and all the contacts, all the screws are in, so you can use this, but the coding has changed. So it's a PDL category 60 AC only, of course. Mounting screws, so you can mount. So if you take these two screws out, this whole thing will disassemble, and that one there. So that's on that one. And here you go to the 70s. A lot has changed. What I don't like about these plugs or the sockets is the switch tends to fail quite a lot of the time. So my grandparents' house, which is this one here, I've been replacing these a lot of the time. And here you have back here, completely different design, category 291, PDL made in New Zealand, not China. Thank God for that. And here goes the little neon lamp in here with the wire going to the neutral, and little resistor in here as well, as you can see. So the coding has changed because now it says AP, so active, like the Australians say, and now here we say is phase. Is the earth over here, and neutral. And this one is always must be connected to the neutral, because if you connect it to the positive, that light will always be on, no matter if you're doing that. So that's why you connect these ones to the neutral. And it's blue coated as well. So yes, so this is another PDL version. It's the mounting holes here, the screws. I'll show you a screw just up here. Here's a screw that you mount these plugs with. Do not use these screws, these ones have their very own, but I haven't got too much time to show you those ones. But yeah, these switches tend to fail quite a bit, and this is rated, of course, 10 amp, 250 volt, says it down here, and writing that you can't really see too much, but you have also the little plugs that plug into here, so when this is mounted. So yeah, of course the coding has changed, as you can see, because these are much bigger. These are small 60s, because back then weren't much wiring. So that's for the plugs. Okay, that's it for the power outlets. Pretty sure. Oh, I'll show you one more over here. It's a waterproof one, or water resistant. 250 volt 10 amp ROCO, made in Australia. I know these ones, they are. You got the plug that screws in here, and you get the socket. As you can see, there's no seal, so you can't really wet these directly because water will still get inside. And you've got the holes here, holes up here as well. So got a screwdriver so you can see inside. Sorry about that. Got the wrong type of screwdriver. Try and do this as quick as possible. And these ones in the glass house video, these are in there, so because the glass house has water everywhere and it's also quite open. There we go. So the inside, the wiring comes through any of these holes here. And here is the plug. So since it's Australian, active, neutral and earth, you can take this flush bit out and it's all sealed around here, so pretty good job. But ROCO over there, that's what it's called. Yes, so IP56, so it's pretty good, but pretty sure you just mount this from these little holes here, just there. Right, I'll put this back. Okay, we will be going into the switches now. As you saw from my last video, this one's from the 40s. Get to the 50s and 60s. And here is the 70s. And I don't think we'll be able to fit. So 40s, 50s and 60s, 70s, 80s, it's HPM. All these, this one's made in England. It's PDL, HPM, and this one's the 90s. So completely different design, as you can see. So this one I showed you in another video, so you know what this one looks like. Here is the mounting screws. As you can't really see too much, the common is up here. There's a loop. Not sure what these two are, but these are the, I'm not sure actually, sorry about that, but this probably is the switch line, or the switched phase, and the probably a two-way. Yep, that is a switch line because I can see the metal over here. These are the screws that hold this together. You got all the screws here as well, so it's quite a nice one. And so here you go. So this is the coating that was changed. So this one's from the 80s to 90s, and this one is from the 90s to 2000s. You can't really see those. The loop, two-way, common, and then one-way. Of course, you mount this up. These are really long-lasting switches as well, but these are the ones. They're pretty good. They don't last as long as these ones or these ones, and definitely these ones are probably the ones that last longest. Okay, so here's this one. A scrambled mess. Okay, it says it up here. This is one way, but the thing's gone out. Two-way, loop, and that's common and common. So this is also manufactured by PDL, and also still made in New Zealand. So we go, there's a little tag here, and we've mounted the screws up here, plastic moulding they put over here, pretty good job. Like this one back here, which is more space because these are all these are all rated for 10 ampere. Pretty sure this one is. This might be 15, but probably 10. So this is 10, 10, 10, 15, and this one is 16. Right here. Okay. What else? Okay, we are going to the plug. So this one from manufactured. This is another PDL. This is, as you know, my granddad used to be an electrician. So this one is from the 60s, 70s, 80s type one. Unsleeved pins because that wasn't code back then. And I'll open this up for you as well so you can see inside. Okay, right, here you go. So as you can see, this is a I think like a little piggyback plug. So you get another plugs into back here, the contacts, earth, phase and neutral. This is the mount, all basically to hold the wire. I forgot what it's called, but it is the wire strain. So if you pull on it, not too bad, eh? So they say heavy duty for these plugs, but when the total loading is 10 amps, 240 volts. So I don't really consider that heavy duty. I consider something heavy duty which is around, say, 15 to 20 amp, because they make plugs that go up to 30 amp in this country, in New Zealand, but I'll show you those in another video. Okay, here's a ceiling fitting. So you get your light. So your mains comes in from here. Earth and probably neutral and positive. It doesn't matter where you put the wires because it's going to be the same as these. So you just have to know which neutral or positive or negative where you put them, because if you put it wrong way round, maybe you could blow the light because the light may be wired differently, but doesn't really matter. And here's the wire strain over here, so you pull the cords back here, so the cord just goes through this little hole and the wires come in through here, so the wires are just attached here, or maybe not, no, the wires attached, yes. Line comes in here, and then the output goes through here. So you unscrew these terminals and you put your wires through, and then they go out. There's the loop, of course, if you want to add another light, but that will be in another video. Okay, what's next? Okay, here's some other stuff that I'd like you guys to see. Circuit breaker, a light bulb, and some heavy duty switches. Alrighty, here you go. This switch is an oven switch, and this is what I call heavy duty because it's 30 amp. So you get the phase one, or no, actually, probably not. This could be, I'm really not sure about these switches because they could be, this is rated for 500 volt 30 amp, but this is the earth, put in here, the neutral, phase 2 and phase 2, but that's probably phase 1 and then the switched phase. But you could put any phase on this one, so I don't know why it says phase 2, because it's maybe for a two-phase appliance, but you don't really get those anymore, the two phases. Right, okay, over here. Oh, sorry, just knocks. Here's a waterproof 30 amp 500 volt 3-phase plug, 50 Hz and IP56 with a seal on it, made by PDL. So you got line 1, line 2, line 3 and earth, and here's a neutral bit, but that's in another plug. But here, oh, and I guess you want this to be opened up to see inside, so it's quite a bit to open because it's heavy duty. Yeah, long screw, sorry about that, sorry for the weight. And is getting a bit tired now. Okay, quickly, as you know, earth, neutral goes in here, but that's this plug is not with the neutral. Line 1, line 3, and line 1, line 2, and line 3, earth. As you can see, the little symbol there that opens up if you unscrew these, and yes, so it's a little gasket here. Just goes back in. The wires go through here. This is by PDL. Wires go through back here, and this is, you can mount these through any of these holes. So mainly this is the back. Opens from the back, and as you can see, the 2 screws here. So it's to make a better connection and tight. So let's put that aside, right there. And here's a 3-phase switch. Very big. 500 volts, 60 amps. So of course, very heavy duty. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So there's no other holes for neutral and earth, because that would be probably in a connector or something like that. And here's the 2 screws to make the good connection. So, and these because since this will be, the wires will be pushing out, you need these 2 screws, because if you just put one in one, they'll be doing something like that. So you need the 2 screws up here to make just a better, so it can fit better into this socket. Alrighty, here's a 3-phase plug over here, made by Clipsal. Oh, by the way, this one's made by PDL as well. So, as you can see, which way should I turn it around? So this one is rated for 15 amp, 500 volts, IP56, 50 Hz, Clipsal. So, in the little gasket here, this goes in, and you can turn the thing, so it's good connection. This pops out over here, but I don't really want to open this up, but you get any of your phases on these 3 pins, or these 3, and then you get your maybe earth, maybe one here, but so neutral, so okay, here you go, saw it, earth, neutral, and phase 2, phase 1, and phase 3. So very nice, very nice. Circuit breaker pops into the circuit panel, but this is not up to code anymore. Like basically no fuses, consumer units, fuse boards use this type of circuit breaker, rated for 440 volts AC, 125 volts DC, which it's a 10 amp one. This will probably be used for industrial or commercial, but not really anyone uses 125 volts DC except substations and other places. Maybe industrial, but okay. Here's a waterproof light fitting screw. Bulb goes in there. Sylvania. The wires black and red, and of course double insulated on these ones, don't need an earth, so it's quite nice. So just bend it something like that, but no, too tight. Here's a bulb. You guys have seen this one on one of my videos, the 150 watt mercury vapor. So basically, one of these bulbs would go into the fitting over here. So, but mainly in New Zealand we use batten, but we also use screw as well. Okay guys, so I think that's one of the end of the videos. Oh wait, no, one more thing. This is a little batten for a lamp. 2 positive and negative each way around, doesn't matter. Light bulb goes in there. See, screw terminals, and this little bit here for lamps, or the wire to go through. So okay guys, well that is the end of the video. So until next time, thank you for watching.